you move that we would accept it?
Is that a question?
Well, that's kind of a question. I mean,
I'll tell you, I'll move to deny it based on, I truly hope we know that they meet a few of these criteria, and I'm not exactly sure the correct way to state the denial here, but I'll give it my best shot here under section 27-916, letter, or number 1.
Yes, I think if you would state your motion, then we would, if it's seconded, we would discuss it.
Okay. I move we deny the application.
I second that.
All right. Let's open up discussion on that at this time. Go ahead.
So, as I'm reading this, under section 27-916, number 1, I have to agree with, I believe it was Mr. Porter over here, that I don't see any lot restrictions that prevent them from doing the 2-story building there. So, by default, I don't think we really meet all 5 of those. Even in the staff report that we have, the staff report even indicates there would be no property rights nor loss of utility or enjoyment of the property were the request to be denied. However, the real effect of the project being built for the terms of the overlay district will be felt by the neighboring properties. I can't disagree that it would be felt by the neighboring properties, but that's not really, I don't view that as an issue under number 1. I don't see the lot restriction issue. In addition to that, as I've stated previously, under number 4, I don't believe this is an undue hardship. I believe this is a self-imposed hardship that could be used for that property could be used for multiple other uses other than a restaurant. And I would love to have a restaurant. I'm right there with Forbes and having my foodie addiction, and I'd love to go out and eat there all the time, but I don't see what property fits that. Fits the undue hardship. So.
I mean, I would say that, second here, I would love to have restaurants in the neighborhood, and this is going to be very unpopular with my husband when I get home because he wants more restaurants in the neighborhood. But for section 27-916, reason number 1, I don't see the property as by reason of exceptional narrowness, shallowness, or shape of a specific lot, or reason of exceptional topographic conditions, which were not created by the owner or applicant. Strict application of the requirements of this chapter would deprive the property owner of rights and privileges enjoyed by the property owners in the same zoning district. I don't see there being a hardship in the way of the property. It's the same shape as the one next to it. So I would say reason number 1, and reason number 2, the requested variance does not go beyond the minimum necessary to afford relief and does not constitute a grant of special privilege inconsistent with the limitations upon other properties in the zoning district in which the subject property is located. Staff's report is the requested variance is to build a proposed addition in scale with the existing structure instead of the larger scale per the terms of the overlay ordinance. It is not the minimum necessary, but is essentially the most appropriate request given the intended results of the addition. Granting the variance will most likely not be viewed as a special privilege, but should be considered as a necessary measure of protection to the existing neighborhood's character. I would say that building it to the way that it's proposed might be in line with the way the neighborhood is shaped right now. There are some larger homes that are on the street. I do feel that granting this would be considered special privilege, considering it is within the overlay district, and there are other businesses in the same area that have complied to the overlay. And I think that granting this would be considered a special privilege.
Okay. Just part of the discussion. I'm actually, after listening to everything, in favor of granting it, and here's why. They could easily build a 28-foot structure that just goes vertical 28 feet, and it may not look right in the neighborhood. Where there's a will, the way. What we're voting on today is not whether or not they can have a restaurant. They can have a restaurant. The only question is 28 feet or is it 18 feet or whatever it is. I think where there's a will, there's a way. You deny it, they want to put a restaurant there, they just build a 28-foot structure. They don't necessarily have to have the extra square foot related to having a 28-foot structure. So my viewpoint is that it's a pretty straightforward request. They just want a shorter building than what they're allowed to build or required to build. You can deny that, but I just think that at the end of the day, you're going to get a structure that that won't look right in that neighborhood, won't necessarily fit what they're trying to do. And there's not a question of whether or not they can build a restaurant. And we're not arguing about parking here. I think we have to take that out of the equation. And the up or down is, can they build a shorter building than what's required? And I think if you deny it, if I was in their shoes, I'd build a building 28 feet, and it won't look real pretty, but I'd build it. And they'll still have a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion on it is, you know, I would like to see some, you know, maybe some community involvement on it, but I think it appears that we're past that point. Right now, there's not much level of interest in that. Any more discussion on that? All right. Well, then I will call the question for vote. All those in favor of...
We have a motion, a second.
We have a motion and a second.
To deny.
All those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand and saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, it looks like the motion to deny the variance is passed.